I know what you might be thinking. You're like, two straight white guys in a podcast?
We've seen it all before.
And to that I say...
You're right.
I was thinking about, like alpha male mentality. Part of it was like, when I come, that's a million potential alpha males. So I eat my cum.
Kudos to who was the werewolf?
Oh, Taylor Lautner.
Yeah. Kudos to him for getting out of the shark board thing.
Yeah.
No, like people like that usually don't recover.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, tell me one thing that the Spy Kids were in after that. Hit him with it.
GTA 6 finally announced.
And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you guys doing? Y'all just watched my man Trey fall to his death. You might have to cut that one.
That's a good... That stays.
I don't know, man.
What was that thing that Shane Gillis said? If you hear that joke, I won an argument.
Hey, it's the Hunter and Billy Can't Fight Show.
Let's talk about that.
Introducing first in the left corner.
Kore wa nan desu ka?
Introducing seconds in the right corner.
Get out of here, fuckers.
The episode's already over.
That's it.
See you next week. Yeah. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Hunter and Billy Can't Fight Show. I'm Bill. God damn it.
I'm Hunter. Jesus Christ.
All the Catholic fans of ours are like...
I apologize.
It's all right. They have to forgive you. Anyways. No, I'm just kidding. Why was that so mean for no reason?
I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Hey, buddy. It's episode 8.
Episode 8.
If you turn an 8 sideways, that's infinity.
Why'd that take me? I was like...
You're like, wait, hold on. I'm trying to access the y-axis. I'm trying to think. Anything interesting happened for you this week at all?
No, dude, I was deathly ill all week. I went to school. Yeah, it's not that time. I went to work twice this week.
Man.
Yeah, I went Monday, missed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then went back today. It was bad.
Yeah.
Just puking and
The
chest
worst kind.
pains.
Dude.
Thought I had COVID. Took a COVID test. It was negative. Don't worry, guys.
We're all good here. Dude, that's crazy. Dude, puking, I'll say it. Don't like it. Not a fan.
I don't think anybody is.
Dude,
actually, besides my Uncle Timmy.
Oh, he like, what is it? Is it like sweet release?
Yeah.
Oh.
He like when he say like we go out to eat and he feasts. If he gets that too full feeling, he's like, bro, I'll be right back, and he'll go make himself puke.
I've known people like that.
He's like, dude, I needed it out.
Oh, man. I've known people like that. I think it's psycho. I'm such a wuss, dude. If I puke, I'm like, well, my day's over. They'll be like, it's 9 a.m. I'm like, I know what I said.
I'm not that bad, but like,
Yeah.
bro, I was puking so much that I felt like my body was starting to get sore from like all of my like, what would be the word for that? Like the
Bile?
No, like the compulsions of like.
Oh, yeah.
That like push. Of release.
Dude,
my body hurt.
Ew, dude, I hate that. Yeah.
It was not. I'm sorry we just talked about puking.
Nah,
for the first,
whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, if you turn puke sideways, it makes less sense as we go.
I'm like,
you're like, E cup? Oh, that reminds me of, do you remember like those, say I and then spell cup?
oh, I remember that. I see you, P.
I'm not.
I got you. I got you.
The thing I was going to say about puke, though, was like those people who can puke and rally. Again, I'm a wuss. Like
I
people
can
that
do
are
that.
like, you can? Dude,
Yeah, like sometimes.
If I'm drinking and that drinking turns into puking, I'm like, yeah, the night's done. You know what I mean? But again, I'm a wuss. You know?
Yeah, there's been a couple times where like I don't feel good and I'll puke at work and I'll just
Damn.
throw a stick.
Hungover? Wow.
Not even hungover. Sometimes I just don't feel good.
Just Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I think I should check in on you.
You know,
more.
you know how I said I wash dishes at halftime on Sundays?
Yeah.
I puke at work on Tuesdays.
Like I'm on a schedule and it works for me. I win the day. Oh, I was just gonna say as like a pro tip, my rule of thumb when I drink is to avoid hangover is every time you pee, drink a glass of water. Now I know for some people that might be pussy move. I'm 28.
Yeah.
You're not gonna bully me into being dehydrated. It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I was like, look at this, the guy drinking water. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, most people my age are paying alimony.
I think I'm okay. Most people my age already have kids.
Oh, dude, isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's right. So 23. That's
Yeah.
like, I remember when that was happening for me at 23, and I was like, a lot of people either making big milestones in their careers or they have a baby.
I'm
marriage.
not dogging that, by the way.
No, I know.
I'm
We're not
just
making fun
saying,
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember like being somebody without that, it's very odd because you're like, wow, if my life took a different trajectory, I now have this thing that's like, I'm yours forever.
Dude, like
you know?
so many people are having kids. I feel like I'm the one slacking.
I know, you're like, damn, I really gotta work on that seed count. I was trying to write a script the other day. This will never be a thing, so I'm just gonna ruin it here. But I was thinking about, like alpha male mentality. It was like a sketch about just like being aggressively like over alpha male, and part of it was like, when I come, like that's 1,000,000 potential alpha males. And I know that if I absorb an alpha male, I get more alpha males. So I eat my cum. That was like just the part of it where you're like, what?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir?
And then I take a cold shower. We're like, wait, we're just going to gloss over the eating your own cum part.
Dude, I remember I told people when I like first got into my like very like strict like gym grind, when I like if I was ever like super sore the next day or that week, I would take ice baths.
Yeah, dude, huge.
And everyone like made fun of me for that.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, I guess the science is like bigger on it now. It's like every podcast talks about ice baths, and we're in there, dude. No, just kidding.
We made it.
Woo! No,
Joe
kidding.
Rogan.
Hell yeah. But yeah, like there's a lot more like, I guess, science around it now. I don't know, but I can't even say that because like NBA players have like always done that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every sport has. for real.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid of ice baths, which is funny. I just felt the need to say that because like people might be thinking like, this guy can't puke, but I can ice bath.
Dude, I hate it. I cannot ice bath.
Oh, I actually love it. No, I'm just kidding.
You ever eaten your cum in an ice bath?
It's like a Frosty.
It's getting real Wendy's up in here.
Yeah, you ever jack off in an ice
Wendy's
bath?
nuts hit your face.
You ever jack off in an ice bath? It's just cubes.
You see it freeze as it rises to the top.
Yeah, it goes. You know what I mean? You're like Mega Man.
Dippin' Dots.
Every time I go to the zoo now, I'm like, oh. You know what's funny is like here in Cleveland, I think it's Mondays you can go to the zoo for free. I've never once taken advantage of that. We live like right there, and I've never. All those zoos are kind of sad.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
Bro, did you see Netflix has this thing now where you can like, it's like a live feed of like zoo animals, and
Whoa.
it's at the Cleveland Zoo.
Oh, that's weird.
Don't know why.
Yeah, who's that for? That's
I don't know.
That's like live streaming a movie theater. It's the same thing, but just worse. You know what I mean? You're just like, I could go, but
well, also like the Cleveland Zoo.
yeah. I mean, I know that they were building like a whole habitat on top of like the last time I was there, like half the park was under construction because they were like, we got a shit ton of monkeys or something like that.
I don't remember the last time I was at the Cleveland Zoo.
Oh, I was there for like one of those like lighting festivals or something. It was forever ago, and it was cool. But at the end of it, like. Here's how I feel about like any like thing like a zoo or a museum. Like you get to a point in it where you're like, I got it. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just want to go home. We went to like this museum for in Chicago. I think it was for like medical shit. It was like a medical museum. And most of the interesting stuff, mostly just for cringe factor, was like ye old medicine.
Right.
Where it's like, we'll just like take up, an ice pick and put it in a guy's head, and you're like, "Are you still stupid?" And he's like, and they're like, "Write that down."
Dude, I remember a couple years ago I went on a date to the Science Museum, and they had like a medical-esque like exhibit going on.
Okay.
And it was during the time where I don't know why, but I was having like frequent panic attacks.
Oh no.
Dude, I could not be in that medical thing. It like almost ruined my day.
Oh, whoa.
I don't know. Everything I looked at just gave me anxiety. I was like, that could happen to me.
Dude, that's what I get that feeling. For some reason, I get that feeling if there's like footage in space and it does like a backflip, I go, oh, I don't know why it is.
Dude, my anxiety got so bad with that shit where like if an episode of House was on and they show like what's going on in the body, I'd be like, oh no.
Am I okay? Dude, House is like such a crazy show because it'll be like, you know, obviously they've tried 800 things.
Yeah.
They're like, it can't be that. And then all of a sudden, like, House has a eureka moment. And he's like, how many pennies do you have? The guy's like, I actually collect pennies. I have 1,000 pennies. And he's like, that's what it is.
Copper poisoning.
This guy needs pennies to live. I'll see you guys later.
You might have to cut that one.
That's a good that stays.
I don't know, man.
What was that thing that Shane Gillis said? If you hear that joke, I won an argument.
What'd you think about this new Wonka movie coming out?
Oh, is it a movie? I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a prequel.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was literally just about to say I don't know anything about it other than when I saw it, I was like, honestly, I hope it's a prequel because it's like we don't need another rendition of that. So that's kind of cool, you know, because I was like, I guess it would be interesting to see Wonka like in his prime, like before he went ghost.
Yeah.
For, you know, Danny Phantom to the world. For
So
20 years.
I know this Wonka movie. I think their goal is to make it a prequel off the Gene Wilder movie, not the Johnny Depp.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I remember like, because in the Johnny Depp movie, they were like, we got to delve into the history of Willy Wonka. And he's like, I had pretty big braces.
And daddy issues.
Yeah, and we're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. But it's made by the people who made Harry Potter.
Oh, nice.
It was Harry Potter and something else. I don't remember the other one. And it's not the other one.
The other Harry Potter thing, the Fantastic Beasts or whatever.
Oh, it actually might be. Which
Hunter, come on, man.
I don't know.
Oh, actually,
I know
for episode 9, the next episode, that's when I'm going to have you take the Pottermore quiz. I'm excited for that, but because it's like way more in depth. We'll get into it next week, but dang, were we on a different wave before?
Yeah, we were talking about the Wonka movie.
Wonka movie, right?
Yeah. Do you think it has potential?
Yeah, I wonder.
You don't think it's going to be one of those failed prequels?
It depends. I feel like it's free reign enough that they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like I think people would be interested in seeing a Wonka prequel. Although I don't care for Timothy Chalamet.
I know nothing about him.
Yeah.
I think, wasn't he a Broadway guy?
I don't know. All I know is that all of our girlfriends want him, and I'm sick of it. Okay. I got a bone to pick with you.
You too, Matt Rife.
Stop stealing our girlfriend.
So yeah, I think he was a Broadway guy, but I saw that the two other guys listed to be in that.
Okay.
I don't remember the one, but I know the other one was he was the Flash.
Oh, Ezra Miller's in it?
No, he was the other guy that they were talking about making Wonka.
Oh, ew.
And I was
why does
thank
Hollywood
God.
like him
I
so
don't
much?
know,
Yeah.
bro. His Flash character made me uncomfortable.
It was terrible. The newest Flash movie, if you guys listening haven't seen it, it's just cringe. I mean, there's a cool twist, I guess, at the end.
I think the movie was all right. I just didn't like him.
No, I mean, he was. That's, I guess, what I mean. But I also think that I kind of hated that they had no confidence in the Flash concept at all. That they were like, we got to throw fucking Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
In it. Like it was more like marketed like a Michael Keaton comeback Batman movie than it was a Flash movie.
So I felt like that Flash movie was DC trying to get their get back on Spider-Man.
Oh, probably, yeah. Which they gotta. Firstly, they just gotta stop doing, and then the other thing is like, I don't know. They're always just like, make it dark. We're like, people don't go to superhero movies to be like, I want to be just emo as fuck. They're like, I want to have fun.
Because am I wrong for saying that my timelines might be fucked up? Is it true that DC tried to get their get back with the Batman v Superman after the Civil War thing?
Ooh, maybe that timeline is fucked up.
Or did the Batman Superman thing come first?
It might have come first. It's actually a hard one to remember. No, I'll say Avengers came first only because that's another example. Like DC just lacks commitment. Because, like, they were like Batman v Superman. They're like, fuck, but we also need, like, Wonder Woman. We need Darkseid. We need Lex Luthor. We need, like, they were just listing all this shit. Like, and so much is happening in that movie that, like, you're like, if you think back on a scene, 9 times out of 10, it's in Batman v Superman. You're like, why was that in there? Like, the scene where Lex Luthor, like, he leaves, like, a bottle of piss on the Congresswoman's, like, chair and it blows up the whole courthouse. That's the same movie. Isn't that crazy?
I honestly don't remember that being in that movie.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, it's like a callback.
I remember the scene, but I don't remember it in the movie.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, dude. And then it's like basically just a bunch of dead people and Superman just standing there perfectly fine, and he's like, "Oh fuck," you know. And yeah, that's that same movie.
Do you want my hot take?
What?
DC has better shows. Marvel has better movies.
Yeah. Because I could never really get into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that much.
I couldn't get into that. I heard the Loki show was good. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I heard that too.
The Captain America show, I was like, eh. The only pop they got out of me for that entire show was, I think it was the first episode. I was like, George St. Pierre.
Nice.
That was it.
I've seen clips of She-Hulk. I'm not super interested.
Oh, dude, I didn't even want to watch that.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of interest in all of that, but also maybe we're not the demographic for that. I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. We used to be like diehard Marvel guys, and I still am for the movies. But
I can't even say that I am. Like, firstly, I know none of the new Marvel movies coming out, and I don't care. I didn't see it. Was there a new Black Panther movie? I didn't see that
after Endgame.
Yeah,
and Spider-Man.
I was about to say
after Spider-Man. It was just because I'm like, where do you go? Where do you go from here? And the Spider-Man I'll watch, but it's also I feel like I know you have to move on.
Yeah,
but I think like losing Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Captain America. And sadly, Black Panther, but that was for a different reason.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like you had all this going, and now you're like, I know I'm going to get heat for this, but now you're leaving me with Doctor Strange. And
I haven't seen the new Guardians. I think it's good, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
See what I'm saying?
That one I kind of want to watch, but Arrow, the show, banger.
Maybe went on a little too long, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was really good. Yeah. The Flash was killer.
Banger. Also, maybe went on a little too long. I remember I checked back in, and they were like, "There's 4 Flashes now." I'm like, "Get the." They're like, "Flash team assemble." I'm like, "Get the." What? He has the Power Rangers. Jesus Christ! And also, just a real quick rant on the Flash. I kind of lost a lot of interest, and this is probably season 1 or season 2. A lot of interest got lost when one of his main adversaries became just a guy with an ice gun.
That was the dude from Prison Break.
I know, I loved seeing him, but I'm like, this guy's supposed to be so fast he can phase through walls, and he's suddenly like, "What?"
Well, and then how's he supposed to run with ice floors? Have you ever played Crash Bash?
So that's like the other thing, because what he'll always do is he'll run super fast, and then he'll stop a football field's distance away from whoever's there, and then they're like, "The Flash," and then they'll do whatever they're gonna do. I'm like, buddy, you're supposed to be the king of surprise attacks, dude.
Realistically, you could just run straight through them, create a hole in their chest, and you're done.
Exactly. Dude, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So like that stuff was getting me. I remember the last episode I saw where I was like, I need to take a break from this show. It was this guy who could turn to sand.
Hell yeah.
And that was like the thing, like the Flash is running around and the guy just throws sand like in a direction and it nails the Flash and he falls over. And I'm like, you can't see him. And you're not like, he's going to be right here. Like there's no fucking shot, dude. I was like, it's like, obviously the show has to create like tension. I get that. But it does get to a level where you're like, this is supposed to be the fastest man alive.
Because it's really, when you really think about the Flash, he would be the most overpowered superhero of all time.
Oh, in theory, yeah, for sure.
Like, how does Superman beat the Flash if he can't see him while he's running?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Dude.
What are your laser eyes gonna do when this guy's running?
Dude.
Yeah. So the other DC show, it was funny that you said that, was Arrow kind of went on too long. Flash kind of went on too long. Gotham didn't go on long enough.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember they had to, like, rush it. Now he's, like, a teenage Batman.
Yeah, and you're just like, Did you like the newest Batman? Did you see it? The one with the Twilight dude?
I actually really liked it.
My friends
Pattinson.
hated it.
Dude, it's very good.
Loved it.
Dude, the guy who played Riddler,
Holy
my God.
shit.
Yeah, he's great.
That, and I felt like everyone was talking about it being a little too long. But I was like, dude, they built that movie perfectly, in my opinion, because they didn't do the whole backstory again.
Yeah, we don't need
they
it.
touched on it,
Yeah.
but like they didn't go over it. We jumped straight into the story.
Yep.
And I felt like the build was perfect.
Yep. Yeah.
I liked it, and I was very iffy on the Twilight guy,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but dude,
Killed it.
killed it.
Killed it.
That's my fault. Might have judged him for the Twilight. I'm not a teenage girl who grew up watching Twilight, so
Yeah, well, Riley talks about it a lot, and I guess him and Kristen Stewart, like the chick, she was the chick who played the chick. They were both like, we're just trying to collect a paycheck. Like, when they initially went into it, they thought it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. Now suddenly it's a 5-part movie, and they're like, I think like they've been on interviews saying like by the third one they're like, God, I fucking hate this so much, dude. Like I fucking can't stand.
well,
this
so
at all.
like for me, I've never seen them.
I've seen some of them because of Riley, and I'm not in.
It's just not my demographic. It's not for me.
It's
I'm not
cringe,
trying
it's
to
weird.
dog it. It's just
I will.
it's
I
just
think
not
it's
my
fucking
thing.
whack, dude. The thing that's annoying to me, the biggest crux in the whole thing. Now it's supposed to be a love story, so whatever. But my thing is like, if you take like a mythical, I want to say use the word beast, but that doesn't feel right. But like when you take zombies, right? You can't make zombies smart. Like that defeats the purpose. Like
Right.
they want to eat brains because they don't have any. So they're dumb, they're slow, but in hordes they're scary, right? Like I would hate if they're like, this is a zombie scientist and he's fallen in love. You know what I mean? And I know they did something like that where it was like Zomboy or something like that, and it's like a love story
don't know anything
between
about
like a teenage zombie and a teenage girl during the apocalypse. And I'm like, guys, come on. Like, and I get it. So like, but Twilight as a series blowing up was weird to me because it's like, okay, yeah, in theory, you get to live forever. As a vampire, you get to live forever. Superhuman strength, speed.
Right.
You know, you can turn into a bat. You know what I mean? But you can't see the sun. You can't go out in the sun.
Yeah.
And then instead in the series, they're like, they can't go in the sun because they shine.
What?
Oh, you didn't know this? Is a reveal to you?
I didn't watch the movies.
Okay, well, I didn't know. I figured you'd know at least that. No. So they can go in the sun, but what happens is that their skin becomes like glitter almost. Like it shines beautifully. And they're like, there's this scene. Dude, I love this. I love that I get to reveal this to you. There's this scene where Edward, the main Robert Pattinson's character, is revealing to Bella that he's a vampire, you know? And so it's that iconic scene where she's like, I know what you are. He's like, say it out loud. And she's like, a fucking vampire. She doesn't say that. But she basically says, you're a vampire. So he's like, I want to show you something. And so he puts her on his back and he runs through the woods. And he basically plops her on the ground, and there's like this sunbeam hitting a rock, dude. And he takes his shirt off and he steps into it, and it's just glowing, right? It's glowing beautifully. And he looks at her and he goes, this is the skin of a killer, Bella. Like, dog.
All right, Magic Mike.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, dude, it looks like you just kind of did maybe a little too many arts and crafts. You know,
She just is in the woods bedazzling his chest.
I know. She's like, hey, stop.
Bro, kudos to who is the werewolf?
Oh, Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to him for getting out of the shark board thing. Yeah. No, like people like that usually don't recover.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, tell me one thing that the Spy Kids were in after that.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I know what the boy's in.
What?
He's in Meghan Trainor, dude. They're married, dude. He's banging all that bass, dog. That's what he's in.
Congrats. I mean,
He's banging that chick from High School Musical, dude.
with no trouble.
You know what I found myself interested in seeing today? I was like, I have to see that movie. The Barbie movie. I know. I was like, I really got to see that movie.
Why?
It just seems good. I'm gonna be real.
Dude, this is gonna sound like such a woke comment. Somebody I know told me that movie was like horrible. He's like, that whole movie was basically just that. I'm not saying this. This is what I heard. So if you watch it, let me know because I'm curious. I was told that whole movie was basically just a message that women don't need men.
Okay, I think that's the point of contention in the movie is like, from what I'm hearing, if that's the take you get from the movie, you're part of the problem. Like, that's what I keep, like, that's, and again, I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know. I didn't see it. That's just what I was told.
Maybe maybe next week I can give you more input on this.
Well, my last thing isn't on movies.
Okay.
We're going to skirt back to TV shows. Reality shows.
Okay.
Dude, maybe spoiler warning, because I need to get some shit off my chest.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to talk about the new Squid Games reality show.
Okay.
It was very cool.
Oh, is it done?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's done.
Cool.
Very cool. Very fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think they transitioned show to movie very well.
Okay.
There was some corny things in it. I won't lie. There's one thing about this reality show that is different than any other reality show I've ever watched. And that's that I've never gotten so heated watching a reality show.
That's very
because
funny.
of some of these interactions.
Okay.
So I wanted to just list a couple of interactions
All right.
that were memorable to me, and I want your opinion on them.
Okay.
Okay, first, we're going to go with number one. This is like one of the lower situations, just something random. So this was during the marble game.
Oh, marble.
Yeah,
Okay.
Where they get to come up with their own game,
Yes.
but you have to decide on a winner.
Yeah.
So there's a clock ticking down. You have this much time to find a game with these marbles, and you decide a winner, the other person's out.
Yeah.
So first interaction, I want to say they got 15 minutes. It might be less than.
All right.
These two people could not come up with a solution at all.
Okay.
So, it's like the time's ticking down, and the girl immediately goes, "All right, time's ticking. We got to figure out how we're doing this. I'm not playing a game of throwing." And the guy's like, "What?" And she's like, "I'm not playing a game of throwing. You have the advantage. That's not fair."
Okay.
And then the guy's like, "I'm only playing a game of throwing." And then she's like, "No, we're going to do a game of chance." And he's like, "I'm not going home over a game of chance."
Right. Okay.
And then they're going back and forth. It all leads up to where there's like 2 minutes left on the clock.
Whoa.
And then the girl goes, "Fine, you win. We can play a game of throwing." So then there's this little like one of those outside like plant base things. Like, I don't know what to call them. Like you put soil in, you put a plant in, like a pot.
Oh, pot. Okay.
Yeah, like a pot. Sorry, my brain fart real quick. So there's like an empty pot.
Yeah.
Just sitting across from them. So with 2 minutes left, they got to move. So they finally start throwing these marbles. They decide the girl made the rules. She got to make the rules of the game of throwing.
Okay.
It was, we're going to throw all these marbles. Whoever gets it in or closest to this pot wins. And the guy's like, "Fine." So they throw all these marbles. The girl makes it in first. Then the guy makes it in. And then all of the other guys' marbles are around this pot, like close to this pot.
Yeah.
And then the guys is not the guys, the girls. All the guys are on the pot.
Yeah.
The girls are like all like willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Not very close. So then after that, time's ticking. She's like, and the guy's like, "Well, it's a tie. So what are we going to do? We don't have enough time to replay." And the girl's like, "Well, I made it in first, so I win." And the guy's like, "What? We tied."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I made it first. You got to budge on something."
No, what?
And I'm sitting here mad, like, your rules were whoever makes it in and then closest to.
Yeah.
You said whoever makes it in or is closest.
Yeah.
You both made it in. The rest of his are closest. What are we arguing about?
Wow.
So then they sit there and argue, and then he's like, "Well, no, I'm not saying you won. That's not fair." And then time goes to 0. They both get eliminated.
No shot, bro. That is crazy.
Well, also, let me also say this. Squid Games is a big game.
Yeah.
There was
Oh, yeah.
455 people.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how hard it was to give certain people screen time.
Yeah. And
So-
I also heard about like the first game, like red light, green light. I heard that obviously in like the show, it's like 10 minutes or whatever, but filming it was 7 hours. So like, cause like this dude who was on the show, like was getting asked, like when he crossed the finish line, he had his hands in his pockets. They're like, why'd you have your hands in his pockets? He's like, well, cause what you guys saw was 10 minutes. He's like, we were filming for 7 hours. So he's like, at one point I'm just like, got my hands in my pockets cause I was like fucking tired, dude. I was like, that's crazy.
That's really crazy. Last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The glass bridge game.
I've seen a clip and I wonder if this is what you're going to talk about, but.
So I found out they use stunt doubles for it.
Oh, interesting.
They didn't let the actual actors fall, which kind of makes sense. There were some older people in.
That makes sense.
They probably don't want to take responsibility for how someone lands if they land wrong.
Yeah.
Got that. But I thought that was a really funny thing to where they jump on this glass thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a buzzer goes off and like, ha, wrong one. Get the stunt double in here so we can drop him. Like, I was just like, okay.
That's very funny.
And then I'm like thinking like they're showing people's reactions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they didn't actually watch that person fall. So was that fake or what?
Oh, interesting.
It was just that part was weird to me. But the main thing I want to talk about is there was a character I really liked in the show.
Uh-huh.
His name was Trey.
Yeah.
He had to go third or fourth, one of those.
Gotcha.
When they started, they came up with the idea that they were going to, like, the person who was first had to jump, make his decision. And then the person who was second had to pass him and jump to the next one. So everybody had a 50-50 shot.
Right.
Not just the person who's first has to make every decision and the other people follow.
Yeah.
So it's like if I went first, you would make the second decision if you were behind me, and then whoever was behind you had to make the next decision and pass you.
Pretty much everybody gets the same fair odds.
Yes.
Because otherwise, if you go first, you're just you lose.
Yes. So the guy who was first, he jumped, immediately picked the wrong one, he falls. So then, bottom of the line, Trey's up.
Yeah.
Trey's leading the pack.
Yeah.
He gets to his first one, and then the girl behind him follows, and he's looking back like, all right, your turn.
Yeah, this is the clip that I saw.
And she's like, nah.
I didn't agree to that.
Yeah.
Bitch.
I didn't agree to that. Okay, so you know about this.
Okay, I've seen that clip.
Okay,
yeah.
yes. So Trey immediately is like, all right, well, nobody's going, so it looks like I gotta go.
Yeah.
And he falls.
Uh-huh.
Moral of the story, she didn't help.
Yeah.
So then, as we progress to this story, like they all get past that. The girl who was behind him ends up making it across because after Trey goes down, she has to make a decision because she's now in front.
Right.
She makes her decision. She doesn't fall, and then she yells at everybody else to go in front of her.
No shot.
They do it.
Oh no! I'd be like, nope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to the next episode or next challenge, whatever. We're playing a new game. So the person who's first, they're playing a game where there's this triangle rope, and they all have to roll a dice. Uh-huh. If they land on 6, they're out.
Wow.
Okay, wait, no. So the game was there's a triangle, and when they get the dice in their hands, they have to either nominate themselves or nominate somebody else. Okay. And then if I was playing and I had the dice, if I nominated you and I rolled the dice and I landed on 6, you would be eliminated.
Okay.
But everybody decided in the pact that they wanted to be fair, just like they decided on the bridge.
Right.
That everyone was going to nominate themselves. So the first person who goes is like, I'm not nominating myself. I'm nominating her because she didn't play as a team player on the bridge. Oh. And then everyone's like, what? You're dirty. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you guys doing? Y'all just watched my man Trey fall to his death. Yeah. Bro, I was so mad. Dude. I was like, bro, I would have been in that building, like dogging her. Like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
You were not a team player here. Uh-huh. Why are we defending her? Yeah. We all should be nominating her.
Yeah.
If we land on 1-6 in here, she's gone for not being a team player. Uh-huh. So we're all just going to ignore what she just did?
Dude.
We're just forgive and forget? Uh-huh. And then not only that, but after she does that, she ends up not getting a 6, so the girl stays in. And then the girl that didn't help on the bridge, she nominated for the other girl. And everyone was like, makes sense. She just voted for you, so you deserve that. Well, so I'm like, bro.
But also.
Yeah, my point. So then Yeah, long story short, for the rest of the episodes, besides like the last 2 episodes or the last episode, I would say everything up to the last episode, everybody just holds that grudge against the old lady for saying, no, I'm going to nominate her because she wasn't a team player on the bridge. So they hold that grudge, but they didn't hold the bridge grudge.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy, dude. That's so funny. Man, I really hope you watch the show someday too, like the actual Squid Game, just because it is like, it's fucking crazy. But.
And then I would also like to announce on the podcast, at the end of the Squid Games reality show,
okay,
they left the website on how to apply for casting.
Oh, no.
I'm going to do it.
Are you?
I mean, worst that's going to happen is I'm not going to get on there.
Yeah.
If I do, why not?
I guess you're right, yeah.
4.5 mil?
We could get a camera.
Not only that, dude, but like being on a reality show like that, like a competitive reality show, would be fun. For one.
Yeah.
And for 2, it's not as long as Big Brother.
Right, fair.
It's not as bad as Survivor.
Yeah, I was about to say the twins wanted to do Survivor. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, I would love to go on Survivor, but like at the end of the day, my eating is way too picky for that shit.
I know. You're like,
I would end up just not eating. And then I'm fucked.
Yeah, you lose all the games. Yeah.
So, no, I'm not doing Survivor.
No.
I would do Big Brother.
Okay.
I want to do Big Brother specifically to stir drama.
That I was going to say, like, that's a good tactic in those shows. And also, I'll say this. The people that stir the most drama are the ones that are remembered the most.
Bro, I just want to go in there with the mindset of, like, say we get into the house together, first day. Like, if obviously the people that I vibe with, I'm going to be real with them.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to be, like, side-eyeing just in case, watching out.
Yeah.
But, like, the people that I, like, know, like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to, like, I just want to walk up to that person and be like, yo, dude, he was just talking mad shit. And then when they go approach them and the dude's like, I never said anything. I'm like, see, he's getting offensive.
Oh my God.
Why would he be getting offensive like that? And I'd be like, come on, Josh, why are you getting offensive, man? Go ahead, tell her what you told me.
And you're over there like,
yeah. And then I'm going to get back to the green room where you do your little cat. I'm like, plan executed. They don't like each other. I'm still here. Homegirl trusts me because I told her he talked shit. I was like, plan A, baby. America, we're going in with the dub.
Dude, that is so funny. It makes me think of like the comment that I made, like the comment I made about like you get remembered like the most. It makes me think of Ultimate Fighter. Ultimate Fighter, yeah. So like for listeners that don't know, it's like 16 like fighters in a house. And then each week there's a match that determines, it's usually 2 weight classes. Each week there's like 2 matches that determines who gets to stay in the house. And I would say most seasons are boring because unfortunately, like, I mean, fighters aren't normally known for being entertaining outside of the octagon.
Not every fighter is Conor McGregor.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is like Conor McGregor blew up because of that.
Yeah.
He was great on the mic. He's great out of the octagon and was a great fighter.
If he had a reality show, it would be insane.
Oh, exactly. So, you know, very seldom do you get a fighter who isn't just like, why are you being mean to me? I will destroy you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay. Andreas.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
But like all the toxic shit that's ever happened in Ultimate Fighter, that's the shit that gets remembered.
That's what I'm saying. So like I was going to talk about my favorite season, which is season 8. That's the one that Ryan Bader's on. Mm-hmm. But there's a problem, dude, in that season. It's that Junie Brown. Remember that?
Is that the punch me dude?
No, well, that is the same season where that guy's like, punch me because I won't get knocked out.
Yeah.
And then he gets knocked out. It's the same season as that. But no, Junie was the one that was like constantly, he's like the blonde kind of hick guy. He's constantly fighting people and like throwing eggs and glass and like a bunch of shit at people. And like he almost got kicked off the show 3 times, but I'm sure Dana White's like, yo, this is going to be the greatest season we've ever had. You know, think about that guy a lot. I also think about the there's another guy in a different season, the Let Me Bang Bro guy.
Oh, dude, let me bang.
Bro, let me bang. And his drunk buddy's like, okay, sorry.
I do let you bang, bro.
Yeah. I was like, I felt like we were talking too cryptically. Like in the show, like typically what'll happen is at the house, people, they just drink a bunch.
Right.
You know? And So yeah, like this episode, like this dude loses his fight, but sometimes they get to remain in the house. I don't understand what that's all about.
Well, so I'm pretty sure when they lose, they're out of the show, but they stay in the show because if somebody gets injured, they get to end up coming back.
Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, this dude loses his fight. So him and one of the other fighters, they start just drinking a shit ton. Like they drank a fuck ton, dude. So they're drunk. And then at one point, this dude that lost his fight, he just gets super rowdy. He's starting to punch walls. He's he gets in this argument with this guy. And so like that guy separates himself. So the drunk guy goes looking for him. And nobody in the house is letting him fight this guy.
Right.
And so he's like starting to get emotionally drunk. And he's like trying to push through. And he's just screaming and crying. And he goes, "Let me bang, bro."
And then his friend comes up, "Dude, I do let you bang."
I know they're hugging. I do let you bang. I think that's such a funny fucking...
So there's some shit going on in the UFC right now.
Yeah.
There's an up-and-coming fighter, undefeated. His name's Ian Gary.
Okay.
Ian Gary was just talking shit a lot on Colby Covington.
Okay.
Long story short, Ian Gary was talking a lot of shit. Now he's about to be on a panel with Colby Covington. So everyone wants to know what's going on. And a whole bunch of shit just got released of Ian Gary. Ian Gary's wife that he just married is like in her mid 40s. He's like mid 20s. And then she also released a book on how to be a wag, which I guess that is like a term for a girl, an older woman who marries a young, successful guy and mooches off his money.
Wet ass Gucci.
I have no idea.
Just kidding.
But so she releases that book.
Yeah.
And then also Ian Gary's nutritionist is her ex-husband.
Oh.
And he lives with them. And there was a video that came out of her like talking to him, and he's like, "Go talk to your ex-husband," or something like that. And it's just like, I don't know. I think he's getting really clowned.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like saying like, "Oh no, Ian Gary's chalked when it comes to this press conference."
Yeah.
Colby's got him. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Your wife drops a book on how to be a middle-aged girl who mooches off of you, and then
You're living with
her ex-husband.
Yeah. And you travel a lot.
Yeah. He's also and then the other thing was her ex-husband, who is his nutritionist, put him on a vegan diet, and her ex-husband's not vegan, and he's a vegan trying to be a fighter. So it's like he's taking a lot harder of a route to like get ripped.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
he's about to get decapitated.
Oh, that's going to be rough.
Yeah. But speaking about mic skills and fighting.
Oh, let's go.
Monday Night Raw.
That's not what they do there.
It's on Monday.
I can't remember what Monday night. Yeah. And we're filming this on Friday.
Yeah. And I'm going to be there.
Yeah, when you're listening to this podcast, Hunter's at the show.
Well, depending on what time you listen to it.
If you listen to it at night.
Yeah. I will be at Monday Night Raw. And it's time for CM Punk Part 3.
You were looking at me like I was supposed to have something to contribute to
Look in my eyes. That's what I wanted out of you.
Oh, real quick, like last week when you were talking about CM Punk coming back, like you were like talking about like the moment he comes back and you're like, boom. And then you did like a guitar part, you know, like for his entrance music, which is, I didn't know until I was editing the clip was Cult of Personality. And still when you did it, I was like, man, that guitar, like I don't think he nailed it. Like it sounds like gibberish. And when I was creating the clip for it, I had to put the audio underneath and I was like, oh, he actually nailed it. That was crazy.
I think this time I whiffed it. But
that's what you were trying to do was the Cult of I can't even think of it right now.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Monday. Going to Monday Night Raw. CM Punk, I think, is on the show. They talked on Monday Night Raw about the manager, the in quotes manager of Monday Night Raw will be offering Punk a contract on Raw this week. Mm-hmm. And it is in Cleveland. I will be there. And Cleveland is where CM Punk walked out on the WWE.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where he left the company. He walked out for the final time in Cleveland.
Wow.
So
He might have something to say about that.
I think honestly, if you want me to be completely honest, I don't even care. I just want to see him.
Yeah,
I hope
true.
I feel like he probably will.
Yeah.
Punk's kind of the dude who talks about everything. So
Fair point.
yeah.
So something I thought was cool was like when I was editing the clip, like I had to go to a bunch of different resources to find the clips that I wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept going through people's like filming from their seat, like basically
Right.
like their perspective of his comeback.
Yeah.
And I've never been to a WWE show. I've been to like, some of the more underground, like amateur ring stuff or whatever, and it's pretty cool. But seeing it, I was like, oh, that's actually sick as fuck.
Dude,
like,
we need to go to one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So it's not confirmed yet, but it's being speculated that SummerSlam will be at the Cleveland Browns Stadium this year.
Whoa, that'd be cool.
So yeah, I'm
go to that.
gonna start saving up money, money, try to go. Because I want to try to get good tickets.
Yeah.
Only because I don't know the next time we'll have an actual big pay-per-view for WWE in Cleveland.
For sure.
And the only reason that I think it means so much is because you can spend the entire day in Cleveland and it's going to be filled with wrestling fans.
That's cool.
And then on top of that, it's just like, bro, I'm going to get to go to this big pay-per-view and it's only a 15-minute drive there and a 15-minute drive back.
Yep.
Now, my only worry is we are in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in the Brown Stadium for a wrestling show. Yes, it is SummerSlam, so it will be a little bit better in the summer, but we are still right on the lake, and anything can happen.
Dude. Yeah.
All I know is if I have to watch Roman Reigns spear somebody 20 times while I'm getting rained on, and I just paid $500 for this seat, might cry a little bit.
Dude, like the Monsters, which is the Cleveland's hockey team, the Monsters every year they'll do an outdoor game, and it's usually at the Browns Stadium.
Yeah.
And last year the game got delayed indefinitely because the way the sun came out, it just landed perfectly on the ice.
So it's just like,
I know. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, it was like you couldn't really look at it, and also like they couldn't skate on it because it's just slush.
it's just melting. Yeah. Oh my God. Why did I not think about that first? I'm thinking about a glare.
You're like, yeah, what happens when ice gets hot? It gets shiny.
Well, I mean, it does.
It does, yeah,
But,
you're right.
WWE can't get delayed.
Oh, fair point.
So no, like you would think it can, but they're out when they do outdoor shows. They have this big fucking Tron bungalow thing over the ring.
Oh,
They build one of those, so even if it rains, it's just going to land on that roof. So
Okay.
the wrestlers would only get rained on from the entrance to under the ring.
that's so funny.
Once
Can you
I get into
imagine that bungalow thing's not see-through?
You're sitting at the top and you're just looking down. No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Oh, that's so funny. So like, that'd be. I mean, like it surrounds the whole ring, and imagine you have tickets there, and you're just like looking at a giant black tent. You're just like,
You're like, I can't fucking see anything. No, dude, I always wondered, like for like, if you're sitting in like nosebleeds and you're watching like a Hell in a Cell match, can you really see that good?
I was thinking that because
I always wondered.
One of the angles that I saw when I was looking at the clips was pretty high up, and so it was like showing like when all of the lights went off or whatever. But you can see the wrestlers in the ring still, and they're like tiny, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, you'd be up there like like squinting, dog. You'd be like, did somebody just get hit? I can't tell who. Which was crazy, but yeah, it was cool because like again, trying to find clips or whatever to like represent the whole thing. The hardest thing, this is more of a podcast thing I just want to go off on real quick. So like for people who don't know, YouTube like shorts can only be a minute long. As an editor, that's incredibly frustrating. So the original cut of you talking about the CM Punk last week, the original cut of that was 4 minutes long, and I had to cut it down to a minute and 45. Or a minute 26 or something, and I still couldn't get it down to a minute, so I just had to upload part 1, part 2, or whatever. But it was like so funny. It's such a gamble you play because you're like, there's context that makes the payoff cooler.
Right.
But sometimes you have to go like
Just
I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, just gotta get to the point.
So like I had to do a bunch of research and then still like fucking edit it down. But it was cool seeing Randy Orton come back. It was funny why, like, because he was, you know, Randy Orton, obviously a legendary wrestler at this point, still in the game,
Right.
Coming back from an injury. He comes down. It's like two. I like that it was like a double decker, like
So
hell in a cell.
That's what they call war games.
Oh, it's always been like that.
No,
Okay.
yeah, that's the match of war games.
Oh, cool.
Bro, did you see how jacked
Yeah, it was crazy.
he is?
Why does that always happen with wrestlers? They're out on like an injury and they come back bigger.
I think it's because I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get cooked for this, but if I had to guess,
Yeah.
when they're injured, they don't have drug tests. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Weed.
They're
No, I'm
not.
just kidding.
They're not in the drug testing pool if they're gone for months at a time with an injury.
Interesting. That's so funny. Wow. So speaking of like going to stuff, you know, I recently my favorite band, Say Anything. Shout out to the 12 fans out there that know what I'm talking about. No, just kidding. They announced a 20th anniversary tour for their first record. Now, I just wanted to talk about it real quick because it's like, it's cool. Me and my sister have like a really good relationship now, and it's because of Say Anything. Me and my sister weren't close at all growing up. And then, you know, we basically, she extended an olive branch where she was like, I'm going to this show. It's the 10th anniversary of their first record. Like, I would really like for you to go. And I was like, sure. I was like, fuck, I do not want to go to this. I was like, back then I hated concerts. I was
Right.
like, I'll stand in the back and I'll survey. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'll do, you know? And, I don't want people touching me. I don't like being in crowds. I don't like things being too loud. Like all of it checks all the boxes of bad time to me.
Right.
But my sister's extending this olive branch. I'm like, I feel like, you know, I gotta go. I gotta at least give it a shot. And I was like, and I want to know the songs if I'm gonna go. So like, I should fucking listen to the record, right? Dude, I listened to this record. I hate it, dude. I was like, I hate every song. I was like, like back to back, I'm like, I don't like the dude's voice. I don't like the music. I don't like any of it. I was like, I'm going to keep trying. I remember I was playing Skyrim at the time, just listening to the album on repeat, trying to like it. And there was only one song on the record that I actually liked, and it's called Alive with the Glory of Love. And I was like, this song's pretty good. And then like second listen, I was like, this song's really good. Third listen, I'm like, this song's fucking crazy, dude. Like it just got better and better each time. Still hated the rest of the album. So I go into this show with my sister, who I'm not close with at all, her friend, and my sister wants to go into essentially the pit to watch the show. And the whole time I'm like annoyed. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going to have the worst hour ever. We get in there and the show starts and immediately people start pushing and like there's people all over me. There's people sweating on me. I'm wearing like this white t-shirt and there's a bunch of people touching me. I'm covered in beer. And this is before I drank. So like that was a big deal for me. I was like, oh, ugh. You know what I mean? I was like such a grouch, dude. I'll never forget, man, when I heard the first like drum hit for Alive with the Glory of Love, something awoke within me. I became a different person. Dude, I screamed that whole song. I'm pushing the fuck out of people. My shirt was see-through by the end because I sweat so much. I gave my all on that one song, dude, and it like changed me as a dude. Like I came out of that like, oh, I don't give a fuck if people touch me. Like I think I love like alternative like emo-esque music, and that's like the most music I listen to now. And I don't know. It's cool to just be like, man, I'm going to get to visit that show 10 years from now loving the album,
Right.
loving the band, loving my sister.
You get a repeat.
Dude, yeah. Rare era,
Right.
you know, and it's even crazier because like 3 years ago, they had like announced that they weren't going to be a band anymore.
Right.
Or 5 years ago. So, and then they came back for a couple shows, which me and my sister went to. And then, yeah, this just kind of came out of nowhere. I already got the tickets and everything. Riley's
Hell
going
yeah.
with me, which that poor girl.
Yeah.
But,
Good luck, Ryan.
There was one other thing I was going to say. Oh, I was just going to say, I forgot until telling this story that you came with me to a Say Anything show before.
I did. It was okay. So how you just described your beginning of that is
Yeah.
how I felt. But I was also a lot younger,
Oh, yeah.
and it was my first time being okay. So my first concert ever we'll tell that story for a different time. But it was Nickelback, Puddle of Mud, and Buck Cherry. So this is also at the Q.
Dude,
so
dude, that genre of music now is called butt rock.
so
that's so funny.
so that was at the Q. So basically, you know, I didn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
So this is my first like rock and now emo rock. And now I know not only is it this genre, but it's at a smaller venue and I knew about a pit.
Oh yeah, way smaller, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
so now I'm a little kid.
yeah.
Not little, but I was like, I think I was in like 6th, 7th grade. I was definitely in 6th or 7th grade because this was at the time of you living at the apartments.
I was going to say, like, I had to be probably 20.
Yeah, and this is like,
So you were 15, 14. I might have been 19.
yeah, this is like, because this is like beginning of a childhood sweetheart era. Because you were at the apartment and I had my first like serious relationship. We were always over your house. That's when you started showing me the album.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So definitely like a little nervous going into this.
And I guess I doubt anybody listening to this is a fan of Say Anything. But to put in perspective, the show was for their album Hebrews.
Yeah.
So that's had to be like probably 2016. No, my bad. I'm way off. 2014 or 2015.
Yeah.
So, because I think the album was released in 2014.
So I remember it was going swell. And then I remember a little in the beginning of when Say Anything came out. That's when the pushing started getting real.
Yeah.
And then I remember like someone pushed me, so I like leaned back. And then that's when I heard them say that they were gonna like fuck me up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm out. I went to the back. I let y'all enjoy yourselves, and I just sat in the back because I was like, I'm not getting punched.
Dude, it's so funny, man. Like, I respect it so much because obviously I was that way forever.
Right.
And it's so funny now. Like at the New York show, that crowd was like, it's
nuts.
fucking New York.
Yeah.
So like the New York show was like tough. That was the most recent one we went to. And what it is now is like, because my sister, you know, she's a bit shorter than me. She's also a woman.
But
so
she'll
like,
beat the brakes off of one of these grown men.
She would for sure. But like, I know that she just wants to have a good time. She also doesn't want to confront somebody at a concert.
Right.
Because when you're yelling, it just gets lost in the void because
Right.
it's so loud in there or whatever. So what it is now is like, if she gets touched really at all, I just throw her in front of me. You know what I mean? Like I'll always put myself in the problem
Right.
area because I'm always like, they're not moving me.
Right.
Dog. It's like,
So that's what, like, bro, like that happened, and then not too long after is when I like started going to rap concerts.
Oh,
and
crazy.
rap concerts are like, I feel like realistically, other than like screamo or death metal, that's
Right.
probably the craziest you're gonna get.
yeah.
Because like you got a whole bunch of like, depending on what rapper you go and see.
Of course,
But
yeah.
like if you're going to like a rapper who talks about, you know, some pretty crazy things,
Like
it's gonna.
tax evasion. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I started going to rap shows, and then that's when like I wasn't worried anymore. I don't know. That was my first show like for with that genre, and I was still new to the genre. I feel
And
like maybe when
young
you're
and-
comfortable with the genre, you might not be
Yeah.
as worried. Because when I started going to like when I went to that show, I had you with me.
yeah.
When I went to this rap show, it was me and my friends.
Uh-huh.
I'm more comfortable with you being with me to protect me than my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. But
So it's like at that time, dude, we didn't care. We were jumping with them, getting pushed.
Yeah.
There's girls getting like carried by everybody and chucked in the crowd. Like
Nice.
it was just like nobody cared. I
That's
didn't
cool,
care.
man.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just like because I feel like music could be a safe place for a lot of people. So maybe
Yeah.
if that style of music is something you're comfortable with, you might be more comfortable going into the show.
That's true too. And I'll also say like after a while you realize it's just people like getting moved around.
Right.
Because you know you're fitting in a tight space and it's
Right.
whatever. Nobody's like hitting you. You know what I mean? Like really.
Definitely could get there.
Well, it can, but there's the mosh pit, and then there's like, you know, like there's the whole pit, and then there's usually an area that's moshing.
Yeah.
I'll never mosh. Fuck that.
Dude, my first time seeing a mosh pit
Yeah.
was at an MGK concert.
Oh, boy.
And by God, it was a slobber knocker.
Dude, shut up. Dude. But yeah, I my view of mosh pits are like, all it takes is one dude who's like trying to hurt people, and the fun's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fuck you. You know what I mean? I don't even want to. I don't want to for me, I'm just like, I don't want my memory of seeing this band to be a black eye.
Yeah.
Or like just some fucker who can't control himself. So
I
he
know
bought a
somebody
ticket.
whose goal to mosh pit is to accidentally punch somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his goal.
Fuck you, dude. Like, because my sister took, this dude was moshing like at the back of a crowd at a show she was at. She was at like Warped Tour. And yeah, so he was like, he was swinging. But he's not at the pit. He's like very clearly just trying to hit people. And yeah, he like hit Brian right in the eye. She had a black eye for weeks. And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit,
right.
dude. So it's like that stuff's enough for me to be like, fuck you. But
right.
I was gonna say, when you were talking about like rap concerts, I just had like a thing I constantly forget that I went to a Watsky show.
Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot that happened. I went with Joey Foxtrot.
Yeah.
And it was a very good time. But it's just like funny because when you were like, it depends on what rapper you go to. That's like more of a philanthropy rapper. So, we're just talking about friendship.
Yeah, and it's a very mellow. Everyone's
chill.
Holding hands.
There was a point, dude, my favorite memory from that night was like, so he has a female vocalist up there with him. And so she's doing most of the singing parts, and then he just does the rapping. But they've very clearly choreographed some moments in the show. Where either they'll dance or they'll do like a thing back and forth or whatever. And, you ever go to shows and sometimes when you're just like getting distracted, you're just watching like the people protecting the artists on the stage.
Yeah.
Like they're standing in front of it and they can't show any sign of expression at all. And they're just looking at the crowd ready to catch somebody to throw them back. This dude, man, like, is like this like really large like black man, and you could tell he had no idea who was on stage. And for people who don't know, like Watsky, like white rapper, not a typical rapper. I don't even know how I would describe.
When you look at him, you wouldn't think rapper.
Pretty unassuming, So I don't think like this is the most expression. The whole show, I'm just watching that guy because he's like kind of like looking, and he's like. He's trying not to have an expression. He'll just look back. He didn't have a single expression the whole time, but you could tell he was curious about the show. At one point, I can't remember. I think they were singing his song, Hey Asshole. And basically the choreograph, if I remember this correctly, I remember how it ends, but I'm trying to remember how it begins. Like, they like lock hands. He like kicks his leg over the girl. She like ducks it. And so now she has his hand and it's like at his crotch, basically, because he's bent over facing away from her because he just put his leg over her. And then she goes up behind him and she puts like her hand on his lower back and then just humps the shit out of him. Right? That's like one of the moves. And it's not part of the song. Like, it's not like he's like, and then I'll get humped in the butt.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing like that. And, dude, the fucking that like bouncer dude, he like looks over and he like looks forward and he gives like that expression. He's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You can tell he said to himself, he goes, the fuck?
Right.
It's like the most, dude, I laughed so hard because it was like the only, like it was the first time in like 30 minutes he decided to take another look.
Yeah.
He looks over and he's like,
he
he just fucking humps him in the butt and he goes, the fuck?
the fuck John Cohen was he?
I know.
What are we at, dude? We might have to save it.
I feel like we have to talk about it because it's relevant this week. So big news in the gaming world this week. Sorry,
Dude.
lady listeners. No, I'm just kidding.
Hit him with it.
Dude, GTA 6 finally announced.
Dude, trailer looks insane.
Dude, and all of the devs say this is what the game looks like. Like, this isn't like a cinematic. This is what the game will look like.
Okay, so before we get into the goodies,
Yeah.
can we talk about the baddies?
Yeah, I only have one baddie.
I have a couple.
Okay. Should I say mine first?
Yeah.
Okay, so you watch this thing, you're like, finally. It's been forever. They've released GTA 5 like 6 times. Mm-hmm. Great. Like you're like, you see this trailer, you're hype, you're like, what the fuck? Like, hell yeah.
I agree
When's
with all
it
this.
come out?
2025.
You're like, you sure? Because we're at the end of 2023. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't announce it if
No.
it's 2 years from now.
Yeah.
That seems kind of silly.
Yeah, it does. That was one of my gripes.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I remember like I watched the trailer and I was like enamored the whole time. I was like, bro, and I was like, we're going back to Vice City, dog. I was like, that's the first GTA I ever played.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I was like, it looks great. It's so sick. And then it goes 2025. And I go, what the fuck? They're like, can you imagine? They're like, we're going to release GTA 5 one more time, and then we'll release GTA 6.
Okay, so let's get into mine because I really want you to change my opinion on this.
Oh boy, okay.
Is it gonna be good?
Oh,
What can you do? What more can you do?
dude, that's what I thought.
Yes, it can look cool. Yes, it can look amazing. But at the end of the day, we're all playing for online.
Yeah. Yeah.
What more can you do with online? And GTA 5, I got a fucking mansion. I got a cocaine lab. I got a weed farm.
Yeah.
I got a heroin business. I got a nightclub. I got flying cars, flying motorcycles. I got a yacht. What more can I do? All you're telling me is I'm resetting and doing this all over again.
Yeah.
I got laser guns. Fucking lightsabers. Like what more can you do?
Well, firstly, I imagine that the map itself has got to be, because GTA 5 was big. GTA 6 got to be fucking huge. Dude.
And that's fine. But my first thing is like, and I want to be, I'm excited for the game.
Yeah.
But this overlaying fear in me is that we waited all this time. But what else can you provide?
Yeah.
What is going, like, yes, we're going to get better graphics. Yes, we're going to maybe a smoother gameplay. Yes, maybe it might be smoother. There might be a lot of new features that make this game better.
Yeah.
But what are you going to give me content-wise that you haven't already done because you've spent, 15 years with this GTA 5?
That's a good point, but I am curious because I remember going from GTA 4 to GTA 5, I was kind of like, what are you going to do? And then even just the introduction of now you play as 3 different characters is pretty fucking crazy. I mean, I'm talking story mostly.
Yeah.
And then obviously GTA Online just took off.
Exactly.
But
now we're talking about now that GTA Online is taken off.
Yeah.
What more can you do online? Because GTA stories are always good. Yes, the story, it's gonna be amazing on its own.
Yeah, probably.
But for online, the core of the game, because at the end of the day, bro, GTA 7 ain't gonna come out until we're like in our 30s, 40s.
Yeah, I'd say 40s, yeah.
So this might be it for
Your
us.
40s, too, not even just mine.
This might be it for us.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah.
What am I going out on?
I did see a tweet that was like that. They're like, they said, at this rate, I got about 3 more GTAs before I kick it.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, like, and then I also saw something saying, and I don't know if this is true, don't quote me, but I saw something saying that GTA 5 is going to require an mobile app login for you to be able to play the game, and you're going to have to get your your face has to get age scanned for you to be able to log into the game.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
And not only that, but GTA 6 was #1 on trending when the trailer dropped because of moms and...
So it's so funny that goes perfectly into something I wanted to talk about was that, so like I mentioned, GTA Vice City was the first one that I played. And kind of what it was that my cousin, who was very much like my older brother, he owned it. And he had like this like little gaming room and off of his like main bedroom. And he was like playing it and I was watching him play it. And, he's like shooting people. He's just mowing people down. He's putting in cheat codes to get flamethrowers and shit. And it was crazy because, like, especially at the time, nothing was really kind of like that. You couldn't just mow down a mob of people,
right.
And then have the cops chase you and then kill all the cops. Right. And then a tank shows up. And you're like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What he would do is when he would go to he's like, I got shit or I got to go to the bathroom. He'd hand me the controller. And so now I'm playing it. And so I'm like shooting people and I'm like mowing people down or whatever. Around this time, and I don't know if it was specifically GTA or if it was like a culture thing getting brought to where it was, but this is at my grandma's house. And so she caught wind that I was playing the game. So dude, I'll never forget it. She like sat me down and she was like explaining to me, like, it's important to me that you understand that there is a very large difference between a video game and reality. And I was like, yeah, of course. And she's like, no, I'm being very serious. Like, you can't think it's just okay to like take people's lives willy-nilly. Like, this is an important thing. Or like, she's like, I know there's some very adult stuff in the game. And there is. Like, you could buy a hooker in the game, dude, and then kill her and get your money back.
Yeah.
Dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, she had this like long talk with me, and I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I'll never forget when San Andreas came out, I asked it for it, and my mom was getting it for me. And like we're in GameStop, and dude, the GameStop clerk is like basically telling her like, you're buying this for him, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, do you know what this game is? And she goes, yeah, and he goes, describe me the game. And so then she says, yeah, like I know, like, you know, you can just like run around, you can do basically whatever you want, you know, like murder. And he's like, yeah, murder, sex, drugs, blah, blah, blah. He's like going off and whatever. He's like gang violence. Like, dude, he says all this stuff. And she goes, yeah, I know. And he goes, and you want to buy this for him? I was like, probably 12, 13. Right. And she goes, well, yeah, he's not a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, but I just think it's interesting because you're talking about ban GTA Online from all these moms and things like that. The narrative has not changed at all, even though now violence is way more accessible than it ever has been before. Dude.
Right.
We're fucking just playing Fortnite, dude.
Right.
So it's like that game is only killing people.
Right.
So like, it's kind of crazy to me now. Like, I remember as like a side thing. I remember the first time I watched The Boys on Amazon. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I have.
I was like, some things in there, I'm like, that's gnarly. That's fucking gross. Like, you've never seen things like this before.
Right.
I'm rewatching it, and I'm like, oh, I've seen like I even watched Gen V, and some gross shit happens in there, and I'm so desensitized to it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, that's crazy how like comfortable we're getting now with things like that when you just see gnarly shit. Dude, I watched Jigsaw. And there's a scene where a dude's getting his fingers ripped off, and I'm sitting there like, nah. You know what I'm saying? It looks real as shit, and you're just like, nah, don't really like this trap. Yeah. I was like so desensitized. It's like kind of crazy, but that's something I think is crazy. Whenever I think of Grand Theft Auto, I think of, you know, this large conversation about it, and I imagine that a lot of it has to do with like, I think it specifically got sparked because of the Columbine shooting in '99. And, you know, they were very much like saying, yeah, video games made me comfortable with killing.
Dude, so the whole ban GTA thing pisses me off because at the end of the day, the game doesn't need to be banned.
Yeah.
Know what the fuck your kids are playing.
Yeah.
And on top of it, if your family has that talk with you, not saying that talk will work 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like you know what you're signing up for. As long as the parent knows what you're signing up for. And the kid knows what's going on and knows what's right and wrong. I'm not saying it can work 10 out of 10 times, but the game doesn't need to be canceled because adults can play stuff like that and not go kill a cop.
Yeah.
So it's like not every game is made for kids.
That's a great point. I like that point. That's a very great point.
It's just how it is. I mean, yeah, you might not like, and can't you really say that about a lot of games?
You say that about most games actually.
I mean, bro, if I go play a SpongeBob game, I have to fight enemies.
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell a kid he can't play that because there's fighting?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's like I get it, but at the same time, it's like grow up.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
You have if you have a kid.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you have to buy this kid that game for him to be able to play this game.
Yeah, you have a lot of control over what your kid is consuming, for sure.
So if you're not paying attention, that's on you. The game doesn't need to get canceled.
Yeah.
And then that's my other thing that I was worried about with GTA 6. I really hope this game does not get watered down based on like how much has changed in the world.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Like they might make it a bit more
watered down.
Yeah, like relaxed because for canceling reasons and things like that. I wonder.
I would hate that.
Yeah.
Because it's not that's not what GTA is.
Yeah.
So let's not turn it into that.
I also think a lot of GTA is satire. Like it really is like I don't like, especially if you listen to like the radio stations, like the talk shows in it, it's all like making fun of like stereotypes and archetypes and things like that. Where if you lack nuance, you're probably like, this is really offensive. It's like, no, they're making fun of the fact that it's offensive.
Right.
Like, or whatever it is. So there's like a lot more nuance to it, but that's actually a really great point about not every game is for kids.
Yeah,
you know?
So my last 2 points on GTA that are negative, because at the end of the day, I want it to be known I'm excited for the game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
Okay.
I'm just worried because what can you do? My second worry, is it watered down?
Yeah.
My third worry, how much is it going to be? Because this is easily the biggest game that is ever going to drop.
Yeah.
As of right now, I don't care what kind of games you play. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. Honestly, GTA 6 is going to be the biggest video game to ever release of all time.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
It's true. It's very anticipated.
No game is ever going to get the reaction that this game is going to get. Especially, we already seen that with the trailer.
Yeah, true.
This has been the most anticipated game of all time. So how much is it going to cost? I would like to say that Avatar, the Blue People,
Yeah.
they had a game that just dropped.
Okay.
$150.
Oh. Whoa.
Games right now typically
70.
run around. No, most of them are checking out around 80 now. New.
Really?
Dude, they're secretly just pitch and towing their way up.
That's crazy.
So how much is GTA 6 going to cost?
Yeah, wow.
That worries me a lot. I mean, they've been making this game for a long time.
Yeah, it's true.
So they kind of get to put a price tag on it however the fuck they please.
It's kind of true.
And at the end of the day, they could make this game $150 for the base edition.
Yeah.
If you want the premium, $200, $175, people are going to still buy it.
Yeah.
It's the biggest game of all time.
Probably, yeah.
If they made GTA 6 $150, I'm still buying it.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to buy it.
We're going to cut that. No, I'm just kidding.
So that brings me to my last and final worry. I play on a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of PC people who might not have to worry about this. How big is this fucking game going to be?
Ooh, because like Call of Duty is already fucking...
Call of Duty's over 200 gigs.
And it's like...
The console is 500.
Yeah.
2K is 175.
Wow.
Madden is, I think, either at or a little under 100.
I'm like annoyed because there's really not that much in those games. Like Call of Duty pisses me the fuck off. Like it should not be that.
2K
big.
is sneaky. There's a lot in 2K because you got the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
You got all the stores. You got all the in-store content. You have all the arenas. You have the fans. And not only that, but 2K has every roster ever in the NBA all the way up to like 19 something. If I want to play as the 96 Mavericks, I can.
Yeah.
So
like
2K embodies, you get to play whatever you want. You can play whatever you want that has ever taken history in the NBA. You can play as any team, any year. You can basically. Any good team that has ever played in the NBA, you can play that even if it was 50 years ago. And not only that, but if you play old school teams, you get an old school version of the game.
Oh, okay.
So, but like bro, how big is this game going to be?
Yeah, that's actually a great point. I didn't think about that.
If Call of Duty is over 200,
yeah,
that scares the fuck out of me. Because
Yeah.
Call of Duty, yes, it has Warzone, it has a lot of maps, but nothing like GTA 6 is going to have.
Yeah.
So, and it's only going to get bigger with the more they add cars, the more they add like all these updates.
Yeah.
It's only going to get bigger.
That's true too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rockstar is a different breed though, man. I mean, like Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty fucking huge and it's a pretty normal sized game, you know what I mean?
That was back then.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that long ago. Red Dead Redemption 2 is the newest game Rockstar put out.
Yeah, but that was PS4.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
On PS4, 2K was 70 gigs.
Yeah.
PS5, 170.
With
With the PS5, every game's game size went up.
I guess that's fair because like more graphic content.
Yeah.
And this thing, yeah, it looks like fucking crazy real. Just like Red Dead Redemption 2 looked crazy real though. But
so
yeah, it's interesting. I am interested to see how that goes.
dude, people are gonna need to get SSDs for their PlayStation that just have GTA on them.
Yeah, you're right. Probably. Yeah, that's so funny. That's the premium bundle. That's just a
SSD included.
That's so funny.
Oh, and then also from the trailer, you play as a girl this year in the story.
I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong about this, but this was a rumor way before the trailer dropped. But you play as a girl and her boyfriend. It's sort of like a Bonnie and Clyde idea.
Okay.
But the trailer mostly just featured the girl.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of the things I saw is that the main character is going to be the girl.
yeah. So interesting. Kind of cool.
Yeah, fuck it.
Damn. Girl power.
We both said it. On that note.
Damn. Well, I think that just about wraps it up.
See us for episode 9.
And
if y'all like us, please share, like, subscribe. We appreciate the following. We appreciate all the love. All the haters keep hating. I guess it is what it is. We'll win you over eventually. And I just want to thank everyone for giving us this opportunity, this platform.
It's true.
A lot of people hate. A lot of people love.
I know what you might be thinking. You're like, 2 straight white guys in a podcast?
We've seen it all before.
And to that I say,
you're right.
See you next week on the 100 Billy Can't.
Get out of here, fuckers. My shorts match my briefs. I just got them last week. So if you see me in the street, just know these shorts match my briefs. I just got these on sale. I ain't paying retail. And no, the style ain't stale. I didn't get these in the mail. My shorts match my briefs.